Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm very excited to share a quick insight into this week's Parsha Vayishlach. So we know that every single word in the Torah has what we call a shoresh, a 2 to 3 letter root. And that root is also found in different words throughout the Torah. So there can be multiple words or two words that share the same shoresh. And there's times when those two words have synonyms because they share the same shoresh. And there's also times when they seem very different, that those two words it's very peculiar that they would have the same shoresh. And that's the case in the story of Yaakov wrestling the angel of Esav. And so the word wrestle is vayavek, with the shoresh aleph of kuf. And we know that the shoresh aleph of kuf also means torch. So we have the word wrestling kind of being connected to the word torch, which on the surface level seems like there's not much of a connection there. So if you look deeper into the story of the wrestling that occurs between Yaakov and Esav's angel, we know that Yaakov represents the spiritual side of ourselves. He represents self-transcendence and the desire to become close to Hashem, while Esav represents the physical side of ourselves, materialism and fulfilling kind of our basic physical needs and only focusing on the physical. And so the wrestling that occurs between Yaakov and Esav is very symbolic to the wrestling that occurs within ourselves. We constantly have the struggle between spiritual and physical, and oftentimes people think that we should only focus on the spiritual, completely get rid of the physical. But why would Hashem give us a body? Why would Hashem give us needs? Why would Hashem give us desires if it wasn't for a purpose? And for something to truly be kadosh, the word kadosh means to take physical things and turn them into spiritual entities, to connect them to Hashem. That's what it means for something to be kadosh. And so now if we look back at the words wrestling and the word torch, we now kind of have a deeper insight into why those two words may be connected. So ultimately, we know that the idea is not to completely get rid of the physical, but rather we should shine light on the physical as a torch, almost use in a metaphysical sense, a torch to light up the physical and turn it into spiritual. And that's ultimately the entire idea of Shabbos. We have a Friday night meal where without the Shabbos part and without things like Kiddush and without things like brachas, it may seem just like a physical meal. You're just sitting down and eating. But when you bring in Hashem to that meal and you make it kadosh and you shine a torch on the meal, it becomes something that is holy and it becomes something that is kedusha. And so we can learn something from the wrestling that occurs between Yaakov and between Esav's angel, is that we should embrace the fact that we have a physical side, but we should also know that that physical side was given to us so that it can be used for the spiritual. Shabbat Shalom.